Hey guys, back and we are playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I've been waiting for this final weekly update. There's been so many things in the game that have been pending to unlock, waiting for the final week to kick off and give us the opportunity to unlock those said pending items. Going to be checking out one of those items. It is a copper drop stream today. So it is a free item, but time and effort is required for this particular one. And it is a limited time that you have to unlock it. It is basically a blueprint that you can earn by completing the week 8 weekly challenges, or not all of them, but just at least 5 of them. And you can earn yourself a blueprint reward for this week. Let's go ahead and check it out and see what needed to be done. So, since the launch of this game, they've been doing weekly challenges, and each week there is a set of 7 challenges in each mode: multiplayer, zombies, and battle royale, each having 7 different challenges. And provided you complete at least 5 of the challenges between the 3 modes, you will unlock yourself a reward. So far, every season, the final week, they've given us a little blueprint reward as the reward for the completion of the challenges. And this season 4 is no different. Week 8 challenge allows you to earn a blueprint for that SMG FJX Horus called Mutagen. So that's what we're going to be checking out today. That's the plan. We're going to be running around with the Horus SMG and trying it out. Now, to complete and unlock this reward, you do need to complete 5 challenges. As mentioned earlier, there are 7 challenges in each mode: multiplayer, zombies, and battle royale. All you have to do is complete 5 challenges, whether it is in a single mode or mixed between the 3 modes. It doesn't really matter. As long as the total completion is 5. So you can do like 1 in multiplayer, 2 in zombies, and then, 2 in, battle royale. And that'll total your 5 to give you the reward for the week. You do need to specifically complete the week 8 challenges for this one. So for this reward, you can't complete a few in week 1 and a few in week 7, and that'll total your 5. It has to be 5 challenges within the 3 modes of the week 8 challenges. Now, I guess we'll go through some of the challenges and just see what needed to be done. For me, I completed all the challenges in multiplayer. And the week 8 challenges, although not necessarily required, but you can sort of just complete it with a single weapon, honestly. There are a lot of SMG related challenges, and you needed to use a recommended SMG. And this week the FJX Horus is one of the recommended SMGs. So you can complete a bulk of those challenges by just equipping the FJX Horus and then doing whatever the challenge requires you to do. And then even some of the challenges that don't require an SMG, just require a recommended weapon, those also can be completed with the FJX Horus because, as I said, it is a recommended weapon. So for me, I just completed everything using that single weapon, the FJX Horus, but had to do a few different things, right? So I guess we'll quickly go through the multiplayer challenges and then maybe speed through the zombie and battle royale challenges. But the first one is get 20 crouch eliminations with a recommended weapon. So this one, you can use any recommended weapon. But like I said, the FJX Horus this week is one of the recommended weapons. So you could use that also. Then 15 operator kills with a suppressed recommended SMG. Again, the FJX is a recommended SMG, but there's another one, maybe a few other ones, I don't know. 10 operator kills with a recommended SMG or handgun set to full auto. So this is just the gun shoots fully automatic, which is the default fire mode for the FJX. So if you're using that you don't need to change anything. Just get eliminations and you'll be sorted. Get 3 operated triple kills with the FJX Horus. So this one actually requires particularly using this weapon. And you need to get a triple kill. Jump into a small map mosh pit, you'll be sorted kind of thing if you want to go for that. 15 operator kills with no attachments equipped. So remove all attachments on a recommended weapon. Again, like I said earlier, the FJX Horus is a recommended weapon. So you could potentially complete multiple of these challenges. But this one does require you removing all attachments. So something like the suppress challenge won't obviously track when you have no attachments tied to it, right? But any recommended weapon for this one. Then get 5 operator kills while in smoke with the recommended SMG. So use the smoke tactical. The area of like being near smoke is actually pretty generous. So if you're playing small map mosh pit and you throw smoke, if you're even somewhat close to the smoke, it seemed like it was tracking for this challenge. And then the final one is get 2 operator kills in a row without taking damage with the recommended SMG 5 times. So out of these, all you have to do is complete 5 of them, or you can, if you prefer, just complete a few of them and then maybe tackle the zombie challenges. Now we're not going to go through every single one, but there's crouch challenges, suppress recommended SMG challenges, recommended SMG or handgun. So similar to the multiplayer, where you have challenges that seem to heavily revolve around a recommended SMG with similar stipulations like no attachments, suppressed, triple kills with the FJX Horus. So it looks like you could just jump into zombies and use the FJX Horus and probably get a chunky portion of these out of the way also. But a little bit more grindy because it's the zombie mode and the eliminations are tracking the zombies, not real players, right? I guess this one might be a little bit more, get 3 disciple kills with the recommended SMG. So that'll be slightly different, or 5 rapid kills. And then if you want or you prefer, Battle Royale is always an option. For some of those free-to-play players, this might be your only option. With the Battle Royale challenges, it revolves around looting various areas in Urzikstan. So multiple challenges where you have to go to certain sections of Urzikstan and loot up those areas, place top 10 3 times, complete 10 contracts, and get 5 operator kills or kill assists with a recommended weapon. So yeah, the Battle Royale ones revolve a little bit more around looting Urzikstan and then, playing and completing and placing or whatever. Again, to earn this mutagen reward for the week 8, all you have to do is complete 5 challenges within the 3 modes. So you can mix and match or specifically play a specific mode. Like I said, for the free-to-play players, Battle Royale might be your only option. So you might need to complete 5 of the Battle Royale challenges, right? Again, not all 7, but 5 of any ones that you prefer or that suit you. But for those who have the premium title and all, you have the option for zombies and multiplayer. And again, you can't mix the previous week challenges with the week 8 challenge for this particular reward. For this reward, you need to be sticking to the week 8 challenges within the 3 modes. And like I said, complete 5 and you'll unlock the mutagen SMG for the FJX Horus. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what you have to do to get it. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, this is pissing me off. Okay, I'm gonna just straight up say this. I noticed that even my blueprint. All right, we'll get to it. Let's just preview it, I guess. So yeah, FJX Horus Mutagen blueprint. Let's play the preview animation and get a closer look. Yeah, I've noticed that some of the underbarrels are locked on the FJX Horus, right? And it looks like it was a recent change that they've locked certain underbarrels that aren't compatible with the weapon. Because I was looking at my build also for the FJX, and I have an underbarrel that's saved to my build. It's my build on it, and it has an underbarrel that is locked out. So I can't use it on the blueprint, right? And it's looking like this build might very well have an underbarrel attachment that is locked out and is not actually viable on the blueprint. Similar. So at some point they made an adjustment and changed the underbarrel like compatibility with the FJX Horus, and it looks like this blueprint might still be one of those builds that has one of those underbarrel attachments. What's up, Roy? How you doing? Been a long time for sure. How you been? How you been doing? Yeah, I noticed this yesterday when I was looking through this like weapon, and I was looking through my build and all that, and there's a bunch of underbarrels that are like locked out. It seems some are more compatible with certain barrels and stuff like that, right? But 100% there was some that were compatible with certain setups that are no longer compatible anymore. So I just noticed the underbarrel on this is missing. Anyway, regardless, animated blueprint looks cool, looks decent, fun little something to get yourself in the collection. Got a viral fever? Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, those are always annoying to deal with. Yeah, like like I feel like even though like the COVID scare is no longer, I still feel like that is still going around. Like people are still getting the virus every now and then, but it's just not quite as serious anymore. But it might just be the weather also. Like it's rainy season, right? Or at least in my area. So I think some people might also be getting sick because of weather. So yeah, apparently you get 4 attachments with this blueprint, but it's looking like the underbarrel might not be applying. So let's see what you get, and then we'll kind of like figure out what's going on with this underbarrel. Get the L4R flash hider, which is not giving me any information on what it does. I have no clue what this does. Improves recoil control, it says. But it doesn't show any statistical difference. Fantastic. So maybe that does nothing. Is that even a viable attachment? Also? It's not. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so there's 2 attachments on this blueprint that gives you like no. All right. It's a nice looking blueprint. Let's just put it that way. But it looks like the muzzle attachment and the underbarrel don't actually do anything for you in this blueprint, which is extremely unfortunate. I know the muzzle attachment, if you change the barrel, it will allow you to, it will allow for the attachment to do something. No, maybe not. I mean, like there are some that work and some that don't. I don't know, man. I have no clue what's going on here with this blueprint. It looks pretty. It looks pretty. But I suspect this flash hider is not actually doing anything because it's not technically an attachment that you can apply to this blueprint. The Jack glassless optic should be doing something though. Precision sight picture, firing aim stability at the cost of aim down sight speed. Fantastic. At least one attachment that's functional. 48 round magazine. Magazine ammo capacity at the cost of movement speed, aim down sight speed, reload quickness, and sprint to fire speed. Again, fantastic. And as I mentioned, the FTAC SP10 angle grip is a locked attachment. So at some point in time, they did adjust this weapon so like certain underbarrels aren't applicable anymore. And it looks like the FTAC SP10 angle grip is one of those. So again, looks like you're only actually getting 2 viable attachments, and guessing these are not doing anything. Like, there's no statistical difference on them either, man. So yeah, I'm a little confused by this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on here. But I would reckon you could get rid of those and you'll probably still have the same stats for your weapon. But sure, okay. We'll keep them for now. It's definitely not applying any statistical benefit. Like, you're not getting any statistical benefit for having these 2 attachments. So if you're like wondering, oh, should I unlock this because you get these 2 attachments that you can't technically put on it? Sure, you got these 2 attachments that you can't technically put on it, but I'm almost guaranteeing you there's no statistical benefit from having either of them, because both are not doing anything statistically different. So you'd be better off removing them and putting something that actually functions with the weapon if you wanted something that to benefit the weapon. But that being said, 2 attachments that work, 2 attachments that don't work on the blueprint. This is the stats for the weapon in case you're interested. Movement speeds at 4.9 m-s. Yeah, it was a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was just the underbarrel, but also I think the muzzle attachment is not supposed to be on this particular setup. So, don't know why they have it. Like I said, they at some point made an adjustment. Like initially certain attachments could be applied to the weapon, and then sometime after the weapon's release, they updated it and locked certain attachments out. I noticed that on my build also, that the underbarrel no longer is supported by the build I had. So yeah, that is what it is. Probably going to want to change these 2 attachments and put something that is more viable for the weapon if you want to use it. This is the camo coverage. As you can see, the animation is a scrolling, like kind of like layered animation. So it doesn't look all that great like on some of these camos, because it's kind of overlays over the camo when it's scrolling the animation, as opposed to blending the camo and just animating the certain section that needs to be animated. But I guess some elements still remain. Like this one doesn't look so bad, gold. I particularly like the forged camo on it. So if you want to go like mastery camo, the forged doesn't look too bad. Priceless, unfortunately, you know, it's what it is. And Interstellar, similarly, a bit of a letdown. Forged look good. Forged kind of look cool if you're mastery camoing it up. Like this one also has got that similar effect where certain elements remain, right? So maybe some of the base camos also might have some value. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, that looks cool too. And solid colors. So yeah, that is the blueprint. A little bit of a wonky one for sure, because you've got 2 attachments that do absolutely nothing and should not be allowed actually on the build. What to do? Let's go ahead and jump right in and play with it. It does show actually in the weekly challenges, when you look at it here, it does show both the muzzle and the underbarrel attached to the weapon. I guess when you preview it, it doesn't. But if you look at the picture, It shows the underbarrel and the muzzle there. So there was a unique underbarrel and muzzle attachment designed for the blueprint. Unfortunately, I guess maybe after they built this blueprint, but they kind of nerfed the attachments or something like that, possibly. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll play with it with the attachment. Like I said, it's very likely both attachments are doing absolutely nothing. So this is more than likely just a 2 attachment build for the FJX, making it probably a pretty weak build for the weapon. But it's fine. Oh, I didn't read your comment. Sorry, Roy. I was just in the middle of that nonsense. Am I excited for Black Ops 6? You've pre-ordered the Volt Edition. I'm reasonably positive of the launch of Black Ops 6. I've got this Call of Duty, is this Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So I'm gonna have automatic access to the game. So I don't even need to pre-order it. But I am excited for it a little bit. 100% the addition to it to Game Pass Ultimate adds a lot of value to the service in India, at least for me, based on the Indian pricing and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be all over it for sure. But yeah, I haven't pre-ordered it because, like I said, I get all the benefits of the pre-order thanks to Game Pass. I am tempted. If I really like it, I will probably get the Volt Edition, because the Volt Edition is just $30 or whatever. Because like I said, through Game Pass, it's you get the full game, and then if you want the Volt Edition, you just have to pay a little extra for the Volt Edition, right? Yeah, I'm hoping it's good, man. I'll be down to get the what's it called? Volt Edition if I'm digging the game, because like I said, I feel like the inclusion of Game Pass and how it's working out in that system, there's value to it for sure. They actually just increased, like they increased the price of Game Pass, but like you could sort of buy the like the kind of cards, like you could get like the monthly subscription cards for like the normal price, right? So I like pre-ordered like, I mean I got the cards for like 2.5 years or something. Like the price in India, like it's a pretty large increase, actually. Like that they're doing. So but like what I did the calculation, and basically on the old price of Game Pass Ultimate, if you play one of the like day one games, like day one, and if you're paying for like Xbox Standard, that about equals to like 1 year of like Game Pass Ultimate. So as long as I'm paying for like, I'm playing, as long as I'm playing Call of Duty on through the Game Pass, I'm getting my money's worth from it. But the new price is a big difference, actually, for Game Pass. Like, it's almost like a 30% increase or something. No, more than 30%. Might be like almost a 50% increase in pricing. But let's see. Why can't I stand here? Yeah, like I got like 2.5 years of it, like on the old pricing. So should be okay for a bit. Not having to. Like, I haven't done like the full-on math for it, but I think the original price was something like $8 to $9 a month for Game Pass, or less than that, maybe $8-ish. And now it's like bumped up to 12. They're bumping it up to 12 in India, which is a bit of a jump, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, I bought like 2.5 years worth of like Game Pass, so I don't need to resub for it at the old price. When I see so many low ranked like accounts, that scares me. Because usually that means it's like someone that's probably got kicked for hacking and now they've got a new account. The connection's ass too, man. They're all on my side too, all the noobs. Which is brilliant. They'll definitely not be hacking, is my guess. When they throw them all on my side, nah. They're all fucking ass.
Capture all objectives. Keep them secure. We're taking Charlie. Charlie secure. We have taken the lead. We're losing Alpha. Enemies securing Charlie. Enemies securing Bravo. We're losing Charlie. The enemy took Charlie. Securing objective Alpha. We control Alpha. Enemies taking Bravo. Enemies taking Alpha.
Bingo fuel. RTB at this time.
We're losing Alpha. Enemies securing Bravo. Ready to deploy. Alpha 1 cruise missile. Enemies taking
UAV is on station. Recon online.
Why do I have a base pistol on me? No! Are you kidding?
Enemies taking Bravo. Enemies taking Alpha. Hostiles hold all objectives.
Dude, why is our teammates so fucking shit, man? Always in this game. Go get B, you little trash cans.
Alpha secure.
Copy. UAV is a
After UAV ready.
counter UAV.
The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Get them secure.
What?
Friendly UAV on station. We're taking Charlie. We're losing Alpha. Objective Charlie secure. Securing objective Bravo. We've lost Alpha.
Counter UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at the site.
Securing Bravo. Halfway to mission complete. Enemies taking Bravo. Moving this way. Enemies taking right. Friendly self-bomber inbound. Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy securing Bravo. Friendly SAE on the way. Hostile care package deployed. Securing objective Alpha. Taking Alpha.
How am I running out of ammo so fast?
Friendly UAV online.
Do I not have scavenger? I do, man.
Objective Bravo is compromised. Get it back. We're taking Bravo. The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those positions. Securing objective Bravo.
Your teammate, help me. Just jump on there with me. You're too far aside, man, you idiot.
Enemy UAV active.
I realized teammate was executing, so I slowed down the shots on fire.
We've secured the lead. Securing Charlie. Objective Charlie is compromised. Get it back.
This fucking thing is so shit. I hate that flag.
Securing objective Bravo. The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Get them. Securing objective Charlie. Enemies taking Alpha. Charlie secure. Get it back. Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy UAV active. We're taking Bravo. Securing objective Bravo. Taking Bravo. The enemy holds 2 objectives.
Yeah, we lost it.
Position. Securing objective Bravo. Objective failed. Return to base.
We're gonna do a few like COD streams today, hopefully. So. Forge looks better than the other one, so I thought this would be the better mastery camo. It's actually a pretty decent weapon, man, considering it's only a 2 attachment build. I'm actually kind of like surprised at like how much more competent this weapon is. I actually think that Jack Glassless is helping a lot, because usually this gun's a little unwieldy. You know, I was trying out that single tap sprint, but I removed it because I felt like it was causing packet burst, dude. Like in my, like, it was really bad. And
UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at this category. Secured the lead.
like when it was like some of the games, it was just like stuttering me everywhere, and it's just so unplayable. And then when I removed it, it was still laggy, but it wasn't quite as bad stuttering wise. Are you kidding? No, no way. That shouldn't have happened.
Is online. We've taken the lead. Friendly UAV on station. Friendly care package on the way. Friendly Mosquito active.
Could he see me?
Hostile UAV in the area. Mission complete. Finish it.
I didn't mean to throw whatever the shit I threw. I don't know, there's a misclick.
Friendly cluster mine deployed. Friendly Overwatch helo inbound. Deployed a Mosquito. Friendly cluster mine planted. Friendly remote turret active. Counter UAV ready. Copy. Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO. Mission time is half over. Maintain counter UAV is down.
Jump up this man. There's a cluster mine in there, dude. Be careful.
Mission's complete. Good work.
That little knife or wiener was like absolutely lagging. I'm sure of it, dude. Like when he slid to me and like threw me off, he like went from there to here like in a blink. Like it didn't register the movement smoothly. So I didn't see him slide. It just like warped him in front of me. That's what threw me off. And yeah, whatever. Good for him. He was sniping. It was not like he was doing anything like hard. I mean, easy. He was playing it tougher on himself by going knifing only. All right, obviously 2 attachments that are doing absolutely nothing to the like weapon. So let's remove them and let's put 3 attachments without trying to mess around with the weapon too much, but hopefully make it a little better. Okay, let's throw on the barrel. And now we can throw on an attachment. I actually want to see what the hell that flash hider actually does. I know it does more than... But it looks like that's not even an attachment. Is that why like it did nothing? It's not even an attachment for this weapon? It's not even an attach. Oh, no, there it is. But even here, it does nothing. It's not equipping it, though. I'm sure it's not equipping it, because then you'd see the attachment. That's so weird. 100% this is blocked off. Yeah, see, this is definitely blocked off. This was some of the attachments that they sort of updated and removed the thing. Let's do... Let's do the Chimera. Okay. And then... Yeah, I think this is an interesting build. We'll see. So we've got the light barrel. I actually kind of wanted the long barrel. No, let's go with the light barrel. So let's go with this. No, I actually want to try the long barrel. Let's go with the long barrel. Because we got the optic. So we can try to stretch out the ranges a little bit, I feel. And then we're like going heavily on like recoil adjustments and gun kick control. So we can potentially stretch out the ranges a tad bit with it. Right? So yeah, this is like an adjusted build. We removed the 2 attachments that were doing nothing. We added 3 attachments to the weapon, visually maintaining as much as we can. The barrel, like, it's not so unique that I feel like if we change it, it's like not a big deal, right? Or we could lose the barrel and then maybe throw in an ammunition or a muzzle. I don't like laser visible while ADSing. Let's try the high grain. What is our velocity? Versus... Nah, the barrel's the better choice, isn't it? No. Let's go with the high grain. We keep visuals as much as we can. Okay, so adjusted build. This is what we're going with. Got the glassless optic, the LOL 9mm grip, 48 round mags, high grain rounds, and the Kimura Orion 3 vertical grip. Let's go with that. Let's try that. The flash item might have been doing something. I don't know. But I don't think it was equipping it on the blueprint. Hopefully the high grain doesn't add too much recoil, because that would mess things up.
Domination. We're taking Alpha. We've taken the lead. Enemy securing Bravo. We're losing Alpha. Enemies taking Bravo. Enemies securing Bravo.
Dude, I'm just leaving. There's some jank to that game. And it was a really high ping, but more than that, I just felt it too. Like it was not playing right.
lost the lead. Standing by.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO.
God, teammates are so stupid, man.
Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO.
Secured the lead. We've lost the lead. Friendly mosquito deployed. The enemy's taken the lead. Friendly UAV online.
Are you kidding?
We've taken the lead. Lost the lead.
No.
Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO.
One minute remaining. Seconds remain. Friendly mosquito deployed. Taking the lead. Ten seconds remaining.
UAV online and orbiting the AO.
The mission is complete. Good work.
So yeah, that was an adjusted build. It was decent. Wasn't bad. Like actually pretty accurate a build. I would have liked a little bit more range potential with it. But maintaining visuals and all, I think we did a pretty good job as far as like creating something that was pretty decent. All right, so this is my build for the FJX Horus. Now, as I mentioned, when I use this weapon, yeah, I'll just swap it out for this one. So this was my original build. I had the X10 Phantom grip, and it used to be like usable with this barrel, right? But it looks like it's usable. But if I just unequip it, 1 minute. Jeez. All right. Thank you for making this more complicated than need be. There it is, right? It's a locked attachment. So at some point in time between the launch of this like particular weapon, they've changed some of the underbarrel attachment compatibility, right? So this is slightly an adjusted build from what I used. I removed the underbarrel because I'm pretty sure when they do that, even though the attachment's there, it's not doing anything for your build, right? So we've got the same attachments as before, like the Hemres mod suppressor, the light barrel, the Ruse light barrel, the Modus 30 stock, and the 48 round mag. But to replace it, I've just gone with the Lull 9mm grip to get that recoil control and gun kick action a little bit more in line. Yeah, so I actually really like that Jack glassless optic with the blueprint. That might also be a viable option. But let's just go with my build, like obviously slightly adjusted since I don't know when they did that too, man. Because like, I mean, I was using the Horus for a while and it started feeling bad and I was like, oh, it's not really feeling great. I suspect I been just using my build, right? Because when I put my build on, because I saved this when I was grinding it out, it shows this attachment as like as if it's active, right? But it's not doing anything. So I was just wasting an attachment, and I don't know when they did that change that happened. God, are you kidding? It doesn't matter. If we're doing this though, I'm just gonna. Yeah. Whatever, right? Who cares? Yeah, let's at least just put lightweight boots or something. Whatever. Let's just play shipment. It's a doo-doo map, man. I'm not gonna get anything out of this. I'm gonna regret it instantly. I'll probably rage quit. I was gonna throw on a riot shield and EOD and all that, but it's like, forget it, dude. I don't even want to bother. Looks cool, man. Blueprint's like decent. Just like a little weird with the attachments, I guess.
Requesting recon at this time.
Copy.
That's unfortunate. Are you kidding? That was a shit spawn. If he spawned in behind me, man, just because I moved forward. Fucking game, dude. Map, man. What is going on with the spawns? This is not normal. Are you kidding, man?
Requesting recon at this time.
What is the score on the?
Counter UAV marking course. 1-1 requesting recon at this time. Confirm that one.
That was actually not as bad as I thought. Like, people were actually messing around and running around and not being like the complete sweat, toxic fest that I'm used to in shipment. Usually, like, there's like a million gas grenades all over the place and frags and people sliding and jumping. Like, jeez, alright, that wasn't too bad. It was actually kind of fun. Unusual for shipment. Like, I did not regret not having EOD and a riot shield on my back on that one. Yeah, I mean, it's a good build. I'm probably gonna have to save it now that I realized the underbarrel attachment was not working. All right, for this last build, we're going to do a guest build, and today's guest is TrueGameData. Those of you who don't know, TrueGameData is one of those kind of stats COD content creators. He breaks down weapons and attachments and stuff like that, and gives you like the best build and like statistically like what works the best and stuff like that, and how it's working. And he has also a website that he has like. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description. Find his website through his own like YouTube channel and all, but it's truegamedata.com or something like that. But he specifically focuses on Warzone, is his main like focus, and it is very detailed breakdowns on like weaponry and stuff because of his website and the stuff he's doing on that. He goes into super in depth about the weaponry. So this is his close range meta build. For the FJX for Season 4. This video is about 2 weeks old, so there might be small adjustments and all. And in fact, I was like kind of like looking up the FJX, and it looks like the recent updates, the FJX has become sort of like a meta weapon for close range action in Warzone. So there might be differences in builds for Warzone in the very recent thing. But I was just going with TrueGameData's build because, like I said, his kind of like breakdowns and stuff on attachments and like how much effort he puts into his builds is kind of another level in comparison to some of the other people. So MK3 reflector, the Martis heavy barrel, Shadow Strike suppressor, DR6 hand stop, and the 48 round mag. So again, close range Warzone build, kind of for the FJX. Season 4, although, like I said, 2 week old video, the, meta's constantly evolving in Warzone. 2 week old might be like completely out of date, right? But as far as I know, like I said, at least current videos that I've been seeing from other content creators, the FJX is quite the weapon in the game at the moment. So let's give this a go. We're obviously going to be playing it in a multiplayer, not Warzone. But still, if you want to try and take it and give it a go, that is what his build is. And again, I'll link his channel in the description. I've sort of fallen off Warzone, so like all Warzone content creators and all, like I don't watch their content anymore, including TrueGameData, to be fair. But when I'm looking for a build and all, I usually try to like search for TrueGameData's like recommendations first over everyone else's when it comes to Warzone, because like I said, he puts in that like work to breaking down and figuring out things. It's a little more work than what I think other people might, some others might not bother doing. Both of these maps are not really SMG friendly, but Score Yard is definitely the better of the two. Yeah, not really been bothering watching Warzone content creators all that much anymore. But like I said, TrueGameData is one of those that you can sort of trust to give you some solid builds when you're looking for one.
Capture and keep hold of the objective. We're taking
Oh god.
UAV is bingo fuel.
Objective Bravo secure. Friendly precision airstrike inbound. Charlie. Enemy taking Bravo. Enemy securing Bravo. Friendly UAV online. We've secured 2 objectives. Friendly airstrike in the AO. Friendly precision airstrike inbound.
Eh.
Enemies taking Bravo. Mission
It's a really good build.
failed.
Really good build. So yeah, that's TrueGameData's Warzone close range build for the FJX. It's a really good build. It's excellent, actually. Excellent build. The only thing is like I know like a lot of the Warzone people love the glassless optic. It takes a hit on ADS, but I mean I feel like you can sacrifice that, right? For this, but I mean honestly, there's no criticism for this build. It's really good. It's an excellent build, and I'll link TrueGameData's channel in the description. Highly recommend you check him out if you're interested in like Warzone and like the meta attachments and builds and stuff like that. No joke, he is by far like, in my opinion, one of the better content creators doing that kind of like breakdown. So usually I like to like trust his build, and it's almost never disappointed. And I've said this a few times. Every time I try TrueGameData's build, is like there's often times I'll try someone's Warzone build in multiplayer because I don't play Warzone, but I want to try out the build, right? And it's like, oh, I can see how it's valuable in Warzone, but in multiplayer it doesn't really play out particularly well. Almost always TrueGameData's builds, like, yeah, they are designed for Warzone, but they usually play very well in multiplayer also. And this has been like across the board, across the years that I've been like trying out his builds. So even if you're not a Warzone player, maybe check out his builds and stuff and see, like it might be worth it even in multiplayer. Right? Like this one was an excellent build in multiplayer. Like I can actually see myself using this build more if I was into the FJX Horus as a weapon. So yeah, Season 4's Week 8 reward blueprint, the FJX Horus Mutagen, checked out, played with, enjoyed. Uh, So yeah, this blueprint's definitely one of those funny ones, right? I think visually, like, let's go with it. Like, it's a pretty cool looking blueprint. I like it. I think having a little animation action, glow in the dark action, or lit up action in the darkness is like a nice touch. It's always nice to have that kind of little, those bells and whistles to your blueprint when it's a freebie, you know. And camo coverage, yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, I think the animation is definitely kind of like, you know, like the basic kind of scroll, layered scroll animation that plays out, right? That's what's going on. And it sort of kind of ruins camo coverage when you see that scroll action going on, as opposed to just, if it was just lighting up the kind of like bars, right, that are forming, I guess, the DNA mutagen or strand or whatever, the strand that's above. But instead it's like a layered scroll, so it's sort of, you see that layer scrolling when you have the like camos. But some of the camos looked okay. Like the forged camo, like I said, looked decent, and it looked like some of those, that similar kind of like coverage applied to some of the base camos. So you probably could find something decent camo coverage wise if you decided to go that route, right? Now build wise, obviously this blueprint sort of folds apart a little bit. Like, you've got two attachments that are doing absolutely nothing. One that is not even supposed to be on the blueprint at the moment because it's like a blocked attachment. I think even the flash hider with this particular build is technically a blocked attachment. So even though you can utilize the flash hider on some of the other barrels, it seems, I don't think it's doing anything of value. And more than that, both these attachments, under barrel and muzzle attachment, are blocked attachments for this particular build, right? This setup. Yeah, I mean, if you were wondering, is it doing anything? Are you getting any benefits? I don't think you are. I think that it's just a visual attachment, but when you're actually using the weapon, those attachments don't apply anything to it. So if I had to guess, very likely that they will update this blueprint, and they probably won't replace the attachments with anything. They'll just remove the attachments from the build if they update it, right? But even if they don't update it, I'd probably recommend you remove these two attachments and put something that has more value to it. I definitely think the adjusted build that we tried out, that was actually a pretty good build. That wasn't bad at all. The only thing is, like, I felt like the underbarrel, that sort of didn't fit visually with the design of the blueprint, but it played really well, right? So I think there was still value to that. Yeah, a little weird. Like I said, I don't know when they did this update where they kind of like blocked off so many of the underbarrel attachments with the FJX, but clearly they had not told the people putting the blueprint together that they're doing that. So we ended up getting these like two attachments that don't do anything, unfortunately. Yeah, all in all, though, it was a fun blueprint. Even like minus those two attachments, the two attachment build for the FJX was more than competent a build, man. Like, I was actually pleasantly surprised at how decent it was to use for the bulk of it. I do think like having the extra attachments, like when I did the adjusted build, it did feel a lot better. Like, it was like, yeah, it feels better to have the extra attachments on there. I would actually argue, if you like don't want the visual like distraction of the underbarrel that I used during the adjusted build, go with that light barrel that I used on my build. I think that was a pretty decent attachment also. So you might want to consider that, and that doesn't mess with the visuals either. I feel like it's good enough, right? But yeah, two attachments that shouldn't be on there, the underbarrel and the muzzle. What's actually interesting though is both attachments look like they have the design element of the blueprint. So if nothing else, at least if you were Frankenstein gunsmithing these attachments onto other weapon that you'll be using, you can probably utilize this mutagen flash hider or angle grip on other weapons and have that kind of design element. But for whatever reason, it doesn't work on this blueprint. So what to do with that, right? I guess no big deal. Not that big a deal, I guess. Yeah, I've not been super thrilled with showcasing blueprints in this season. Like, I've kind of been wanting to avoid it and all. So, like, question mark on why I'm doing this particular blueprint. Like, it seems kind of out of like left field, right? Like I've not been covering a lot of the event blueprints and stuff, yet I'm covering the weekly challenge week 8 blueprint. There's a simple reason for that. Is because I actually really appreciate the weekly challenge system that they did in this game. Like, personally, like, I don't really care for the aftermarket part attachments and stuff like that. I know a lot of people love that aspect of the game, but I see the value of the weekly challenge system and how it encourages people to jump onto the game and earn something. And for me, getting these like freebie like blueprints and like skins or whatever, like, or universal camos and stuff like that, right? That has a ton of value, right? So the week 8 challenges where they make sure they give us like a blueprint and all, that's always sort of like, you know, I appreciated that, you know, like I was like, yeah, I like that they do that every week. Personally, I would, again, this is just personal preference. I know a lot of people would disagree with me on this because they love the aftermarket part attachment system in this game. But personally, if they just gave like free rewards, like blueprints every week for the weekly challenges, that would be like awesome for me. I'd be like, yeah, that's so cool, right? But like I said, I do see like why a lot of people like the aftermarket parts. But yeah, that's the main reason I am showcasing the week 8 challenge. It's just because I actually do like the system that they implemented and have been kind of continuing through the seasons with this weekly challenge stuff. And also like that final reward system. We're definitely going to check out the universal camo on a separate stream for the weekly challenges. But even that, you know, it's like, that's so cool that they did that. And it's at least something. It's something. And obviously, I have had criticism for the weekly challenge system. The one thing I hate about the weekly system, and I might repeat this again during the like camo stream, I hate the fact that they do recommended weapon nonsense. Like, I kind of just wish they would be like, use an SMG or use an assault rifle. And it's sort of like player's choice on that. But then they do that whole recommended weapon thing, and that always throws me for a loop sometimes, where like the recommended weapons aren't the fun weapons to use, right? So that is the only like criticism I have for the system. I'm like, I don't like that you make me use a recommended weapon. I would just prefer like you just stick with SMG, assault rifle, and drop the whole recommended nonsense. But all in all, I do prefer the like weekly challenge system. I've appreciated it a lot throughout these seasons. I do think like what they did with the recommended weapon in, I think, Modern Warfare 2, all right, prior to these weekly challenge system things becoming a thing, was the recommended weapon was just a way to encourage you to use a weapon, and it would give you an XP boost while using it, while it's the recommended weapon, right? I actually think that system is pretty smart and fun. Like, you having recommended weapons in like each pool, and those weapons give you a little bit of extra weapon boost. So if you haven't leveled it up, you can kind of level it up a little faster. I like that idea. But as far as it tying it to the weekly challenges and all, I feel like that kind of is where it fell short. I'm like, man, I don't want to use some of these weapons. I've already leveled them up. There is no value to using the recommended weapon all the time. But it's been a hit or miss system for me. Like, there's been weeks where like the recommended weapons have been all right, and it's like, okay, whatever, right? And then there's been weeks where it's like the recommended weapons are ass, and the challenges they're asking us to do is a little more frustrating because I have to use these other weapons. But yeah, like I said, all in all, I've appreciated the system, and yeah, that's why I did this stream showcasing the blueprint for the week 8 challenge, even though I don't like showcasing blueprints anymore. There's a few, like I'll do like the prestige weapon also. I'm almost prestige this season, so we'll definitely do the prestige blueprint also. But like all in all, I've been kind of avoiding showcasing blueprints for the most part. Anyway, that's it for now. Like I said, I've mentioned I'm going to do a few streams today. So like this is one of 3, hopefully, if I have time to do all 3. So we'll move on to the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my other streams if you haven't already. And is it worth it? It's a decent blueprint. It's a little messy as far as attachments go, but it's all right. And if you want the final like reward, you do need to get your 5 challenges completed. So yeah, I think it's a decent looking. Visually, it's okay. It's okay. It's a cool looking blueprint. And it wasn't a bad build, even though like it was only 2 attachments that were functioning. But it wasn't bad. Take care. Bye. Yeah, blueprint attachment combination was a little miss on this one because attachments don't actually fit on the blueprint. That's all right. The blueprint still played out fine.